I wrote this thing. It's called Visa Dart, even on Celebrity Apprentice. I first saw The Who on TV. I was watching with my parents. And when Pete, Roger, and Keith started smashing their instruments, my family was appalled. We were just barely middle class. My dad was a jail guard, and we lived in a nice, neat little house that my parents had built with their own hands. I loved music, and I had a newspaper route, and I mowed lawns. I was taking drum lessons using a practice pad, and all my money was being saved to buy a used drum set so I could join a rock and roll band. At my rate of earning, it would take me decades to afford Keith Moon's drum set, and I didn't understand its destruction on TV. How could Keith do that? How could he have such little respect for music, for the TV show he was fortunate enough to be on, and for me and my family? My parents didn't like the music or the act, but they still tried to console me. These rich rock stars just didn't understand what money meant to us common folk. Then in a flash, everything changed. I started to cry. Right then, something happened, and I understood The Who. I understood that passion and art could be more important than money. I went from sad and disgusted to exuberant. It was the first time I had ever understood real beauty. I loved The Who. I loved rock and roll. I loved life. It was at that moment I became an artist. I use Teller's broad definition of art. Whatever we do after the chores are done. There's one show business, and Bach, Dylan, Ron Jeremy, and the guy at the mall in the Santa suit are all in it. By that definition, the Celebrity Apprentice is art, and for my sins, I am on it. I've done a lot of TV, but one of my proudest moments in my career was shown this week on The Celebrity Apprentice. I didn't watch it, but I was in it. I don't know how it was edited, but I was there, and it was beautiful. The Celebrity Apprentice is all about watching people argue and lie while they covet money and success. Those are the artistic ideas. Donald Trump scowls and passes judgment, and we all suck up and rat out to win more time on TV and get money for our charities. The theme song is the OJ's For the Love of Money, used as awkwardly as Born in the USA at a political rally. It's not the most likely show to have something beautiful happen, but the Blue Man Group can make beautiful anywhere. Some of the tasks on the show are measured by money, so if you bring in a rich, famous person to buy a sandwich for 10 grand, you have a better chance of winning. I have been a fan and friends with the Blue Man Group since we were all working in New York City. They make my heart soar. They make me proud to work in the arts. They are the best of us. They've also got some money, so I called them, told them I was doing this TV show, and did they want to donate some money to charity. They said yes before finding out what charity or how much I wanted, because the Blue Man Group is like that. They do charity all the time. They really deeply care about people, and they do a lot for many charities. They are the best of us. BMG asked if I wanted them to show up and do something. Oh yes, please. After weeks of sitting in the boardroom on a set pretending to do business, I really wanted something beautiful. Can you deliver the money in a fun way? I asked them. That was the problem. In the Blue Man Group world, money doesn't exist. For them, Blue Man money means nothing. The values that they've established in their art don't include avarice. The Blue Man Group donate tons of money out of the blue makeup, but in it, well, they're just not above money, they're beside it. It just doesn't exist. They asked me to give them some time to think of something beautiful. A couple days later, they sent me a video of them filling a balloon with tens of thousands of dollars in tens and blowing it up with a leaf blower. It was beautiful. And it delivered money without the Blue Men having to respect it. It was so beautiful. I really wanted to save their appearance and money for my task and my charity, Opportunity Village for people with intellectual disabilities, a charity that BMG helps a lot. But I was on Dee Snider's team, and he asked me to help with more money on his watch. I ran the idea by all our team members, the production company, and NBC. Everyone signed off. Blue Man Group would march up with a loud parade and giant puppets, and they would blow up a balloon full of money with leaf blowers and fill the air with $10 bills that the Blue Men wouldn't care about. Whatever our team could gather out of the wind, we would have to score for our team. Teller would join BMG and add 30 grand, I think it was 20 grand of his own money. Not blown around, but handed politely to our cashier, American Idol, Clay Aiken. Clay takes the Celebrity Apprentice very seriously and plays the game for all it's worth. We were outside selling our bullshit little jive guidebooks, the sandwich of this week. I gave the signal, and from blocks away, we could hear the parade. BMG, with their giant drums and confetti cannons, were changing traffic patterns in New York City. They arrived at the park where we were set up to sell our guidebooks. My business partner for my entire adult life, Teller, was in the parade, firing streamers into the air and dancing. Teller had the eyes of Keith Moon in The Who. I had been sequestered on the Celebrity Apprentice with all the complaining, backstabbing, and phony heart-to-heart talks, and down the street came joy, pure joy, honest, human joy, personified by Teller and Blue Man Group. I started to cry. They got to our stand. They exploded the balloon full of money, and suddenly the air over the park in New York City was filled with money. Blue Man Group stayed in character and just enjoyed blowing the money around. Their joy was more important than the money or us winning our game. They were there for art and to help the cause, in that order. We all scrambled to pick up as much money as we could. Paul Sr. and Lou Ferrigno held people back, while Dee, Arsenio, Clay, and I tried to grab all we could. Everyone was ready for the money to explode, but somehow Clay was surprised and disgusted by the chaos. I was still crying with joy, and Clay was crying with pure hate and anger toward me and my blue buddies. Some of the camera people, the producers, the sound people, and the crew ran up to me after the Blue Man had gone and said they had never been prouder of anything they worked on. Some of them were crying with me in joy. They remember why they had gotten into the arts. We had been just a few feet from The Who while they smashed their instruments for America. They proved that art meant more than money. I'm pretty proud of Penn and Teller. We've done some pretty groovy stuff, but I was exploding with pride at the beauty of my friends, Blue Man Group. When we had the first break from the cameras, Clay was gathering evidence to take me down for this in the boardroom. He was angry and detailing the humiliation and injuries he'd endured during all the beautiful chaos. When I asked if he needed medical attention, making sure the cameras weren't on, he screamed, "I need you to shut the fuck up!" It was so easy to shut the fuck up right then. Teller and Blue Man Group work without words, and they had said more than I could ever say in defense of art. I drifted away in the NBC van to my childhood and the moment with The Who, when I understood that I needed my life to mean more than money, 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 money. The boardroom didn't matter. Clay lowballed how much money we were able to gather, but I didn't argue. Clay said that the Blue Man Group's money that Clay wanted to go to TV charity had ended up going to some homeless people. Trump joined him, disgusted by the idea that some of the Blue Man Group's money might have gone to people who needed it instead of the people Donald Trump would get credit for giving it to who needed it. Trying to explain to Donald Trump that beauty and art can be more important than money is like trying to explain to Donald Trump that beauty and art can be more important than money. The contest was revealed to be very close in terms of money. Beauty wasn't discussed. And Donald Trump tried to make me say that I regretted what the Blue Man Group had done. Clay tried to get me to say that I should have gotten the Blue Man Group to be more responsible, and by that he meant give us more money so he could win his game. It was this episode where Donald Trump understood that he did not understand me. And feeling misunderstood by Donald Trump and Clay Aiken is its own kind of joy. I thought about some family at home in a small town watching the Blue Man Group on the Celebrity Apprentice like I watched The Who. I thought about many children being disgusted by all that money being wasted on the homeless. And I thought about maybe one child all of a sudden understanding what art can mean and crying with joy. As The Who sang, "Why don't you all just fade away? Don't try to dig what we all say." Visadart.